Good evening, my name is Joshua All. I am a business finance major here at Fresno State. My prior experience includes classes such as DS 71, 73, and 123. They also include classes like Accounting 4A and 4B. Upon graduation, my career goal is to become a financial advisor. Once I am hired by a firm such as Edward Jones or Merrill Lynch, I would like to receive my Series 7 and Series 66 licenses. Once I build up my book and clientele, I would like to break off from the firm that hired me and start my own corporation or company with a few of my trusted employees that I've gained over the past several years.
Good evening. My name is Tyler DeWitt and I'm a business accounting major here at Fresno State. My prior experiences include classes such as DS 71, 73, and 123. I've taken Accounting 4A and 4B, and I've also taken Finance 30, which is personal finance. Once graduating, I will take my CPA test and hopefully achieve my CPA licensing. From there, I would like to go work in the private sector of accounting, such as a private business for like Walmart or Kohl's or Nike. After that, for a few years, I would like to switch over to the public sector and work either for a CPA firm or hopefully start my own. After a few years of that, I would like to either look at my life and see if I want to go back to the private sector or stay in the public sector of accounting.
StockTrack is a simulated stock market that allows students or individuals to invest in companies or stocks that interest them without losing or gaining any real money. For Team 7, our investing philosophy was to start out conservative, and as you can see, we did that. But as time went on, we realized we weren't getting any real returns, so we decided to increase the riskiness of the betas of the stocks that we were looking at. We realized that despite the riskiness, our returns started to increase.
Team 7 originally wanted to start off with a more conservative approach to our investing strategies. We originally did this so we can create a good foundation for our portfolio. We started by purchasing Coors Brewing Company, which had the ticker symbol of TAP. Their beta was 0.89. After a few weeks, our returns were minimal. We had a total of a 0.54% overall during the length of StockTrack on tap. After, we decided to get a little more risky to try to make some more money and get more monetary gain. So we invested in SRPT, which is Sarepta Therapeutics. Their beta for their company is 1.81. So based off that, we can expect a little more of a volatile market for the Sarepta Therapeutics. Over the length of StockTrack, we got a total return of negative 18.15% on the Sarepta Therapeutics. After that, our team was slightly discouraged because we wanted to have a positive gain in our portfolio overall. So we started going back to the conservative approach and started investing in companies that have a beta roughly around 1. We invested in Stars, which has a beta of 0.66. That ended up paying off for us because at the end of the StockTrack, we had a 9.08% return. Another example of this was we invested in Kohl's Company, ticker symbol KSS. Their beta was 0.99, and that was one of our highest returns in our portfolio. The total return on that was 16.14%. Now, while having more conservative stocks, we did still throw in some risky stocks. We invested in Oasis Petroleum, which is a petroleum-based and energy-based company. Their beta is 1.94. We figured that with a very diverse portfolio with a lot of risky and conservative stocks, we could help have a portfolio that would create the most monetary gain for us.
As the semester went on, we learned different techniques to evaluate stock. An example of this was CAPM. CAPM allowed us to realize that we were getting good deals or bad deals on certain investments. An example of a bad deal was the purchase of Bud. The return we received from Bud was negative 10%. However, according to the CAPM equation, it should have been giving us a 6.65% return. Without CAPM, we didn't know that it was such a bad deal, and once we learned the CAPM equation, we realized that we needed to drop it as soon as possible. A positive example had to do with Kohl's. Kohl's, according to beta and the CAPM equation, was a 5.83% return. What we actually got was near 16%. Once we realized what a good deal this was, we decided to keep this stock.
After StockTrack ended, we took all of our portfolio information and compiled them into visual representations of how we did. The first graph shows our return per stock by week, which graphs our returns of our stock over a certain time period. Our second graph is our return by the stock. This graph shows us our highest monetary loss and our biggest monetary gain of the stock. Finally, I have a graph that shows our weighted return versus our portfolio return. This graph allows us to see which stock affected our portfolio return the most based off how much we invested in that stock.
All in all, StockTrack was an extremely valuable project that all students, business students, or finance students can take something away and learn from. Some of the things that Team 7 learned was that it takes discipline and effort to follow the stock market and the stocks that you purchased in order to have success. Another thing we learned was that it can be valuable to have a healthy mix of risky and conservative stocks in your portfolio. And lastly, another thing we learned was that it is crucial to know and use all of the equations, formulas, and methods to evaluate stock and the stocks that you've purchased. And with that, I would like to conclude our report and thank you for a great semester and everything that you've taught us.